A big thank you to the Tenora cheerleaders for that introduction. What do you think, Chuck?
Oh, great week one, great introduction, man. Season's rolling.
Yeah. Welcome to week 2 of the Tim and Chuck Show, presented by Batten Stevens Body Shop. I am Tim McDonough, joined by my esteemed colleague Chuck Martinez-Brandon. We are here on location at Frickers of Defiance.
Yes.
Yeah, we're ready to roll.
Great day.
Oh, of course, we're ready to roll, Chuck. Week 1 is in the books. Anything that stood out to you or surprised you? What did we learn?
Yeah, I think what we learned is that all the teams that we thought were going to be good going into the season, your Wasions, your Deltas, your Tenoras, they're good. I think, and that's, sometimes you never really know until you get the season rolling and you see what you have. So I think there's really no surprise yet. Everybody we thought was going to be good, they're good.
Yeah, good wins across the board. I think our area did very well against some opponents outside the area too.
Oh yeah, and that's, again, you never really know. You can scrimmage all you want to, but until those Friday night lights turn on, you never really know how a bunch of teenagers are going to react. So yeah, it was a great week.
Well, Chuck, let's jump into our game of the week. And you said something about Tenora and Delta. They're squaring off this week on Friday night at Delta, both coming off impressive wins. Tell us a little bit about that matchup.
Well, you look at it, and you don't want to talk about playoffs in week 2, but with these guys being in the same region, this is absolutely huge this early on. And when it's 2 of the big power teams that everybody thought might have a good chance of making a long run, man, this game has just got implications all over the place.
Yeah, we've got Tenora coming off a 31-3 win over Liberty Center.
Yep.
We had Riley Noggle. We knew that he was going to be bringing it. He had a couple of rushing touchdowns. Brevin Renolette threw for 1, ran for 1. And then Delta, they rolled over Toledo Christian. Jesse Beverly and Bailey Stoneholder.
Yep.
That's hard for me to say. Bailey Stoneholder both rushed for a couple of touchdowns.
Yeah, and Delta is one of those teams that when you look at them, they're really scary because they've got big dudes up front, but not just big dudes that can move, and that's scary. Then you throw in guys like Stoneholder, man, he is fast. He can just run. So they've got speed on the edges, big dudes that can move inside, and they present a lot of problems for a team. Tenora the same way, great running attack, okay, but they've also tried to expand that playbook a little bit last week. They went like empty sets and were throwing the ball over the place with Renolette. So again, 2 teams that are really, they're going to be a hard matchup for anybody. So what do you choose? What poison you want to stop run? You want to stop pass? You want to try to get outside, inside? Man.
Is this what you would call, Chuck, an old-fashioned slobber knocker?
Slobber knocking on Friday nights. That's it. They're going to get after it, and it seems in this day and age where everybody likes to throw the ball around and be all pretty, man, it's still going to start and end up front with those guys, and in the trenches. Who's going to control the line of scrimmage?
Well, that's the breakdown of our game of the week. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
With an online subscription to the Crescent-News, you can read every article, see every photo, download and read each printed page, watch Crescent-News videos, and see great deals offered by our advertisers. For just $7 a month, you'll know the news in Northwest Ohio as it happens.
Welcome back. Chuck, we've got a special treat for our fans. We have 2 Rose Insurance Collisions of the Week and 2 Jacobs Meets Plays of the Week.
2 for week 2.
Yeah. Chuck, let's start with the Rose Insurance Collision of the Week for the Defiance Napoleon game. Chuck, what do they say about the Rose Insurance Collision of the Week?
Week in, week out, year in, year out, a Rose by any other name would not be the Rose Insurance Collision of the Week, Part 1.
Part 1. Give us a breakdown, Defiance Napoleon, Chuck.
Hey, River Rock game, Napoleon running back, Clayton Eicholt, thinks he sees an alley, he's going to run the grass, but no. Big old Jack Frederick closes that door and gives a little bobblehead action out, okay? Big hit right there from Jack. His dad was loving that hit.
Well, that's our Rose Insurance Collision of the Week from the Defiance Napoleon game. It's time for the Jacobs Meets Play of the Week from that same game. And we've got Napoleon quarterback Garrett Gherkin rolling to his right, looking like he's going to throw a screen pass back to Blake Fisher, and Nathan Porter Defiance says, not so fast, my friends. He picks off the pass late in the game, and that sets up what proves to be the winning touchdown. Alex Gonzalez throwing a 12-yard strike on a slant to Jared Jimenez. Defiance goes on to win 20-14, and they get the rock back, Chuck, for the first time since 2011.
That's right. Defiance rocking the rock.
Yeah.
They're excited. Those kids, I saw a preseason interview a month and a half ago, and they were talking about the rock. So that's great for those guys.
Yeah, they were very excited to get that, that's for sure. All right, Chuck. Rose Insurance Collision of the Week, Part 2.
Part 2.
Coming from the Tenora Liberty Center game, what do we got from that one?
From that game, we've got hits on quarterbacks. If you're an old dirty lineman or an old defensive guy, you gotta love it when you got the opportunity to hit the quarterback. Sorry, Brevin Renolette, he going back for a pass, but Logan Smith laying the smack down with a little hit on the QB. You gotta love it.
Well, that's our Rose Insurance Collision of the Week, part 2.
Yeah.
And now it's time for our Jacobs Meets Play of the Week, part 2 from the Liberty Center Tenora game. Speaking of Brevin Renolette, Chuck, before he got hit, on their first play from scrimmage, he decides, you know what, I'm going to load up and go deep. Throws a 66-yard bomb to Reed Anders, kind of bowls it, brings it back in, beats the defense for the touchdown. Sonora goes on to roll 31-3 over the Tigers. Big play right off the bat.
Right, big plays. I mean, if you're defense, you can't give up big plays. If you're an offense in games like that, man, that just sparks the fire and you're rolling.
Well, those are our Rose Insurance Collisions of the Week and our Jacobs Meets Plays of the Week. It's now time for our Question of the Week. What do you have for us this week, Chuck?
Well, this week we're going to talk a little Western Buckeye League football. The Bulldogs of Defiance, they open up the season Friday at Kenton. It's going to be their 43rd season in the WBL. How many times has Defiance brought home the WBL football crown?
Well, that's our question. Make sure that you send your answers to our email that's scrolling right below us right here on this screen. And we will choose a winner at random from all the correct answers. Last week, we asked, going into the Defiance-Napoleon rivalry last week, how many more games had Napoleon won? We got several correct answers of 12. We chose a winner, and this week it's Mary Alice Noggle. Congratulations to her, and thank you for sending in your question. All right, Chuck, it's time for our segment, Where's Ethan? Where's Ethan going to be this week, Chuck?
He is going to be somewhere at a football field, but probably over Tenora Delta.
That's correct, Chuck. Of course, it's our game of the week. He's going to be there shooting it. You know, if you see Ethan out there, make sure to say hello. You know, go crazy, have some fun with it. You might even get on the show next week.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. It's rolling along right here. Please, again, be sure to send your question of the week answers to our email address. And, of course, follow the Crescent News Sports Department at crescent-news.com. Late Fridays and Saturdays, they're going to have all the game stories that you want, all the coverage, and, of course, photos and everything in Sunday's paper. They do a great job.
Yeah, they do, and you can get that information right away. It was great. You know, last week in the locker room, we're scrolling through and we're reading, you know, about the scores and all the stories of the happenings not too long after we were done, you know, talking to the team in post-game. So it's great.
Yeah, they do a great job. So a big thank you to our sponsors, Batten Stevens, for sponsoring the show, Frickers for having us, Rose Insurance, Jacobs Meats. We couldn't do it without them.
Right.
Yeah. So Chuck, that's it for week 2 of the Tim and Chuck Show. Any words of wisdom before we say goodbye?
Support your local concession stands.
Words of wisdom. See you next week.